Good afternoon and welcome to Newsbeat on Metro TV. We are live on Facebook at Metro TV Ghana, on DSTV on channel 277. My name is Nana Kwesi Kwitia. Let's take a look now at the top stories for this afternoon. Patients stranded at the Okomfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital as strike by doctors and nurses enters its third day. Nyenahin Catholic SHS teacher arrested following the circulation of a viral video showing him allegedly assaulting a female student on campus. And a big question this afternoon is to reshuffle or not to reshuffle. President Mahama to review performance of appointees ahead of possible reshuffle controversy. We will speak to an analyst. There is many more coming up. Stay tuned with us. Welcome back, and these are the details. A teacher at Nyenahin Catholic Senior High School has been arrested after a viral video allegedly showed him physically assaulting a female student on campus. The incident has sparked widespread public outrage and prompted an investigation by the Ghana Education Service. There's more in the following report.
The arrest was confirmed by the Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Education Service, Daniel Fenyi, in a Facebook post on Tuesday, June 9. In the viral footage, the teacher is seen repeatedly punching the student before lifting and throwing her to the ground as shocked onlookers plead with him to stop. Witnesses in the video can be heard reminding the teacher that the victim was a female student. However, the teacher, who appeared visibly angry, responded by asking whether the student herself was aware that she was a lady. The circumstances leading to the confrontation remain unclear, as neither the school authorities nor the Ghana Education Service have disclosed details surrounding the incident. The Ghana Education Service says the Regional Education Directorate has launched an investigation and is expected to submit a comprehensive report to its headquarters. The incident has generated widespread condemnation, with many members of the public calling for accountability and stronger measures to protect students in educational institutions. Authorities say the outcome of the ongoing investigations will determine any further disciplinary or legal action against the teacher.
And away from that, several patients who visited Okomfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital on Monday to assess health care have been stranded at the outpatient department of the hospital due to a strike by the Doctors, Nurses and Midwives Association of the hospital. The catastrophic healthcare crisis at the Okomfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital has begun receiving attention as the Ashanti Regional Minister is making frantic efforts to broker a resolution with the striking health professionals.
Members of the Okomfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital in Kumasi declared a strike action on Saturday, June 6, following a decision by Health Minister Kwabena Mintah-Kando to suspend the hospital's Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Pakwesi Bedu, who earlier issued a directive to temporarily halt new admissions at the Accident and Emergency Unit of the hospital due to severe congestion. After the doctors declared a strike, the Nurses and Midwives Association subsequently joined the action in support for calls for the reinstatement of the CEO, an action that is threatening healthcare delivery at the second largest referral hospital in the country. The Ashanti Regional members of the striking Doctors, Nurses and Midwives Association, which focused on long-term measures to ease pressure at the tertiary facility. He disclosed plans to accelerate the operationalization of most of the crucial health facility projects, such as the Afari Military Hospital, Tredo Furikrum and Sewa hospitals, as part of efforts to decongest the Okomfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital and improve healthcare access in the region.
We are taking all the steps in making sure that these issues are de-escalated, most importantly, because once it lingers on, the patient that suffer, so that we'll be able to have that. So I want to thank the Health Minister, the union leaders for their cooperation in this whole issue, and thank the RCC team for joining us in this resolution. So we'll communicate the resolution to the health minister. The union leaders will also come out. Then, as soon as possible, we implement the issues thereof.
The divisional chairman of the Ghana Medical Association, Dr. Bernard Hammond, who doubles as an executive member of the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital Doctors Association, explained that their members will attend to patients in critical conditions, surgeries, and other emergencies, but not OPD patients.
Since our board have taken the initiative to go and meet the minister, members decided that let's hold on, let's still attend to inpatients, let's still attend to the critically ill patients as they come, which we are doing today. When the board reverts back, we expect to hear from them. So that was the decision that was taken.
Meanwhile, the Ashanti Regional Communications Officer of the New Patriotic Party, Paul Yando, believes the government is being insensitive to the health needs of the people of the Ashanti region.
There are a lot of patients that we cannot accommodate and that they have to be sent to the nearby facility for service delivery. So we asked, why? How can this happen? And then he went ahead and told us that they've been through all the wards in the facility, and those that can go home and continue their medication, they have done that. So at this juncture, they have no option than to turn away patients.
Early Monday, June 8, many patients who visited the hospital to access care at the OPD were left stranded. Some of the patients and relatives spoke with Metro News on their frustration.
Because media me ban so like my benya nurse no have me ban mama. Me dey nche da yin serious to have my environment me go fenyi so do pampa ka me ko. Na me mama mu aba se me nuanu bi aba se e ya homete e bi mu pe chire se biska ho de papa na nyam o modern diska e dey transportation be do bi nya doctor an sure sa de ya ri ko fi. One say before be fedro, the one na do campo on the hand to be so be report na doctor no doctor na be better say do na mana atoba no am hu doctor bibia timisi enipa nkwa de within a second etimi efininsa nti e be sra ban bibia omude omun from no omun no omun nsanka bi omun obi omun nka na enipa nkwa ekura doctors for no.
All right, so Abdul Basit Suleiman is our man in the Ashanti region, and he joins us via phone. Thank you very much, Abdul, for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, Kwesi.
All right, so what is the current situation at the hospital at the moment?
Well, the situation has not changed as compared to what happened yesterday. The strike is still on, even though, according to the doctors, they are putting human face to their action by continuing to take care of those in admission and critical emergency cases. However, the OPD department today is virtually empty because a lot of patients that walked in yesterday went home without any care. So most of them were not able to come back today because a lot of them are gotten the information already that the doctors and nurses will not be available to take care of them. So when upon visiting the OPD department of the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital, the place was virtually empty, unlike yesterday where a lot of patients trooped into the place to access care. You know, Komfo Anokye, even though it's a referral center, there are other departments that also provide services to the OPD. They have other polyclinics close to within the facility. So all these places have not been functioning since the strike action was enforced. So this morning the situation is the same. The doctors, even though most of them have gone to the theater, others are also attending to emergency within the emergency center. But the OPD attendants, patients who are accessing OPD services have been left to their fate.
Should patients expect the strike to be called off soon? I mean, from the way things are ongoing there.
Yes, even yesterday when I spoke with Dr. Bernard Hammond, he told me that Initially, when they met the regional minister on Sunday, most of them were of the view that they would even end the strike on that day. However, the subsequent release from the health ministry angered most of the doctors who were in the meeting, and they decided not to cooperate with what they agree on with the regional minister. And even yesterday, the board members of the Komfo Teaching Hospital met with the health minister, and there has not been any conclusive decision yet. So they are still on their decision to remain on strike. As I speak with you, most of the patients who are seeking medical care at the hospital are also very disturbed because some of them come from the house just to book appointments with doctors, but with other doctors, it makes them very difficult. Those on medication are finding difficult to seek advice on what to do next, since probably their time has reached where to seek for review, but because the doctors are not there, they are finding it difficult to know the way forward. So they are appealing to authorities to, as a matter of urgency, to come to a compromise with the doctors to ensure that they return to work as early as possible so that they will have the needed care that they are seeking for.
All right, so Abdul, before you go, what is the management of the facility saying about the Labour Commission call for them to call off the strike? Is this something that you think would work out immediately?
Well, the strike has nothing to do with the management as we speak now. It's about the labor union within the hospital, who are the doctors, even though most of them are the doctors. The management has no power over the union, as we all know. So the union, even though they've heard about what the Labour Commission is saying, but they also believe they've not breached any directive, any presidential directive. As per what the president said, no patient should be turned out. And according to them, they've not turned out any patient from the emergency center. It was reported earlier that they've shut down the emergency center, and among others. The emergency center have not been shut down. Those with critical condition are being received into the emergency center, and they are being taken care of as I speak with you right now.
Abdul Basit Suleiman, our correspondent inside the Ashanti region, taking us and then updating us on the issue with Komfo Anokye Hospital. And away from that, we're going to turn our attention to the Tema Motorway as tragedy struck on the Accra Tema Motorway late last night after a horrific head-on collision between a tipper truck and a fuel tanker left one person dead and 3 others fighting for their lives. The violent impact triggered a massive fire outbreak that shut down portions of the busy corridors for hours.
The crash occurred just before midnight between Sakasaka Park and Tani Ghana, where the 2 heavy-duty vehicles collided head-on. The impact triggered a massive fire after the fuel tanker burst into flames, sending thick smoke into the night sky and raising fears of a major explosion. Emergency responders from the Ghana National Fire Service swiftly moved to the scene. Fire crews from the Motorway Fire Station were joined by teams from Ashaiman and the Tema Industrial Area, with additional support from the Ashaiman Municipal Assembly. Before firefighters arrived, 3 occupants involved in the crash were rescued and rushed to the Tema General Hospital for emergency treatment. The injured have been identified as Kwabne Japong, Joseph Tekwashi and Aaron Che. Authorities have not yet disclosed their conditions. Firefighters battled the intense blaze for several hours unsuccessfully, bringing the fire under control and preventing it from spreading further. The driver of the tipper truck was later confirmed dead after his charred remains were recovered from the wreckage during recovery operations. Traffic along the busy motorway was temporarily disrupted but has since been gradually restored. Meanwhile, police and fire investigators are working to determine the cause of the collision and the subsequent fire outbreak.
Let's take a look now at sanitation as the leader of the non-governmental organization Let Love Lead, Dawood Akwesi Ajiman, is urging individuals to keep their immediate environment clean as part of efforts to improve the waste situation in the country. There's more in the following report.
As Ghana marks 11 years since the tragic June 3rd disaster, Let's Love Lead, in partnership with Ignite Media Group, organized the 4th edition of its annual sanitation exercise, covering Nima Market to Overhead, Mamobigata, and Paloma. Speaking to the media, Big Dawood called on citizens to take responsibility for maintaining their surroundings to help prevent flooding and avoid tragedies similar to the June 3 disaster.
Sanitation is something we need to pay a keynote to it, because you cannot just be throwing garbage around, you cannot just be littering around and think that you go scot-free. At the end of the day, to come back and hunt us, just the little rain that is going on, look at how our gutters are choked, look at the disaster that happened. I am pleading with each and every Ghanaian, everybody, please, let us live by example. In your own little way, the little you can do to keep your environment clean, I'm urging you on behalf of Let's Love Lead NGO. Let us keep the ball rolling.
The Member of Parliament for Ayawasu East, Baba Jamal, expressed excitement about the initiative in his constituency and encouraged residents to take responsibility for keeping their environments clean.
If you look at the massive participation, it tells you that people are concerned about the environment, and we must all be concerned about environment. And then we hope that with this initiative by the Let's Love Lead, championed by Big Dawood, I think that is going to go a long way. And I'm grateful that they started it in my constituency, Nima. And for that matter, it gives us some hope that we'll all be able to keep our environment clean.
On behalf of the Greater Accra Regional Minister, the Chief Coordinator for Keep Accra Clean campaign project, Tony Addison, outlined a 6-month sanitation campaign introduced by the Regional Coordinating Council to address sanitation challenges across the region.
We are calling on the communities, we are calling on our leaders, chiefs, churches, mosques, we are calling on everybody to help us drive home this campaign. This 6-month campaign is to prepare us towards the 70th anniversary of this nation. As a nation, we have come of age to keep our environment clean.
The NADMO Deputy Director General in charge of operations, Teddy Safori-Adi, advised citizens to remain vigilant and caution members of the communities against activities that could endanger lives.
I am begging all of us, take charge of your community, take charge of your area. Se obi di juma ewo community ana area na onim se dwumadie ya nipa ni di no yanhwe ni ya awieye no e de atorenche mbebre yen ewo community ni nyina mu a come together as a community and advise the person. If you advise the person and the person doesn't listen, go to the appropriate quarters and let's deal with that issue.
Head of Ignite Media Ghana CSR, Adriana Kosieje, stated that its participation forms part of its corporate social responsibility, as hygiene and sanitation are among its core concerns.
So share Ignite Media, your corporate social responsibility in the area of health, education, human capital impact, community development. And we one of the initiatives I fall in line with our corporate social responsibility. We share Zoom Lion. A Zoom Lion is part of our conglomerate, and our core mandate ahunidie sanitation
Victims of the June 3 disaster expressed appreciation to the NGO for its support and appealed to the government for additional assistance.
Afibia omoye biman nakuponsha mu na fiti tama June 3 akonshano tuye no yamfa na easy ntimbetu obiafu obianhwe no ye nso mu na obia oni bibi pa adepa ya odetina ofie na bola nsem na mpenifo kan no mayema yamfati bola mayema bola mbefati nti yesremu a obianhwe no ye na obia nsisi ni fie nenim gota bi wo nim a mbacho momodin se obesisi gota na wo wenim.
And in other stories, President John Dramani Mahama has signaled a possible reshuffle in the coming days, with ministers and CEOs of state institutions set to undergo a comprehensive performance review. In a June 8 statement from the Secretary to the President, Callistus Mahama, the presidency also banned appointees from accepting private awards without authorization, citing concerns over credibility and public integrity.
In a statement issued Monday, June 8, Secretary to the President, Callistus Mahama, said the review will decide retention, reassignment, or removal from office. The findings, it said, will guide any future cabinet or executive restructuring. The presidency also warned public officials against taking part in external award schemes. It said many private groups giving out best performing or most influential awards lack transparent methods and clear credentials. According to the statement, these awards risk undermining public service integrity and creating false impressions about government's performance. The statement clarified that ministers, CEOs, and political appointees must not accept or endorse such awards unless cleared by the President's office. The Presidency says officials should focus on delivering results, managing public funds well, and meeting policy targets. Performance will be measured by outcomes, not private ceremonies.
We will now engage Dr. Frederick Oduro, who is a governance expert on this matter. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good to have you this afternoon. All right, so is the time right for reshuffling?
I will give me the opportunity for not taking side either way, whether to reshuffle or not to reshuffle should remain the prerogative of the president.
Okay.
He alone has the power to appoint to these offices we are talking about: ministers, chief executives of public corporations, and the like. So I would defer that to him and let him decide when he thinks is best to reshuffle. Be as it may, a lot of factors must go into deciding who should remain or who should not continue. One of the issues in contention as of now is performance of some of these individuals, and also whether some of these people are capable of playing as team members. I mean, whether they are team players. Then also is the season in which we find ourselves. That is, this is the final tenure of President Mahama, for which reason a lot of people are going to be juggling for positions, either as a presidential candidate for the NDC in the next election, or even running mate, or supporting one person against another person. So all those dynamics are going to be in play. So those are the things that are going to inform any reshuffle that we can expect.
All right, so this past weekend, a number of the ministers pick awards, and the secretaries of the president has come out that ministers, CEOs, and so on of government should be very careful about picking awards since they are yet to be reviewed. What do you make of this matter?
Now, the point is that these awards themselves, there's a huge question mark hanging over these awards. And my personal view begins with the motive behind these awards. Those who are giving the awards, why are they giving those awards? What is their reason? Are they, is their intent to make money out of a possible scheme? Are they there just to promote the political interest of a section against another? These are some of the questions we should ask. And even the recipients, we should be asking what is also their motive. Do they believe they are indeed the best, or that this is something that is, it has got a photo effect for which they should milk to enhance their political career? So those are critical issues that are happening. And then the effect of some of these awards on governance, as the letter from the presidency indicated. I mean, it will make some people delude themselves into thinking they are doing very well, whereas in reality, they may not. What should engage our minds is an effective performance management system to evaluate and assess public officials and also to establish what is expected of them and the resources they need to perform their function. So these are the things that I believe are most important from government perspective. And then the main award that could ever be given is going to come from electorates. Whether electorates deem these people to have performed well enough that whether they're going to contest for election as presidents or for members of parliament, or even they are going to support, whether they are.
Dr. Frederick Odro, are you still online? All right, so I'm going to see whether we're still going to have... All right, we're going to see whether we're still going to have him back as we're looking at the reshuffling. Well, it's a rumor, let's put it this way. We are yet to know whether for sure this is going to happen in some few days to come. And we were speaking to Dr. Frederick Odro, a government analyst who is actually telling us about the state of affairs. All right, so Doc, thank you very much for joining us. Finally, I mean, before you go, let me ask you this. What do you think of President Mahama's minister so far?
Please allow me to sit on the fence on this.
Okay. All right. So, okay, I mean, before you go, I mean, your own assessment of how, things have gone on so far with government, your own assessment so that we can...
Oh, I would say a lot of good have been done. A few missteps have been made. There's a lot of room for improvement.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Frederick Odro, for talking to us. And away from that, the National Democratic Congress ward coordinators in the Karachi East constituency of the Oti region have received a motorbike from a member of parliament of the area, that's Nelson Jabab. The donation of the motorbikes is aimed to enhancing the work of the ward coordinators by enabling them to reach access communities across the constituency and effectively spread the message of the party. Our regional reporter Gabriel Asempa has more.
Speaking to the media after the brief but colorful presentation ceremony, the Member of Parliament for Karachi East, Nelson Jabab, acknowledged the sacrifices and efforts of the ward coordinators who often travel remote communities to canvass votes for the NDC. He noted that the donation was intended to support and motivate them in their work.
What motivated me to initiate this project stem from 2024 election, the campaign we did in 2024. I saw how especially our ward coordinators in all the 21 wards within Karachi East constituency were committed.
The Oti regional organizer of the NDC, Suleiman Mumuni, commended the MP for what he described as a thoughtful and timely intervention. He also urged other members of parliament in the Oti region to emulate the gesture in support of party grassroots organizers.
I want to encourage other members of parliament and other party executives, whoever has any way to help. We should continue to be doing this because it's very, very encouraging. These motorbikes must be used and used carefully.
The chairman of the Karachi East NDC ward coordinators, Jacob Ahakuto, expressed appreciation to the MP for the donation, stating that the motorbikes would greatly enhance their work and enable them to do more for the party.
And there ya motorbike no. The best I adman akosu asini die ya first no because the bia akodroba ka wontimi nanti say oko honda e bia moto no nti machine no tinu e be for so say won kono nko ya adman no.
With the donation of the 21 motorbikes, ward coordinators in the Karachi East constituency are expected to improve their outreach activities, particularly in hard-to-reach communities, as the NDC intensifies efforts to strengthen its grassroots presence. The beneficiaries say the motorbikes will significantly ease transportation challenges.
Let's turn our attention now to fistula obstetric surgeries. And for many women living with obstetric fistula Everyday life is marked by pain, stigma, and isolation. The condition caused by complications during childbirth continues to affect thousands of women in Ghana. However, a new intervention is offering hope with UNFPA, the Ministry of Health, Fidelity Bank, and Pansiman, Member of Parliament, supporting free corrective surgeries at the Fistula Center in Mankasim.
Inside the bustling wards of the Mankasim Mercy Women's Hospital at the Fistula Unit, popularly known as the Roman Hospital, every single bed is occupied. These women share a common painful bond. They are survivors of obstetric fistula, a condition that causes chronic incontinence, often leading to severe social neglect and deep psychological trauma. But today, the atmosphere here is one of relief. According to the facility's lead medical doctor, Dr. Joseph Berkon, while some cases stem from complex surgical mishaps, the vast majority are obstetric fistula injuries sustained during prolonged obstructed labor.
We are the biggest center in Ghana and in West Africa. We are the only stand-alone hospital meant for fistula repair in Ghana and also in West Africa. So we are doing well. Last year we operated on over 130. Last 2 years we operated on over 120. And this year we are expecting to operate on over 130 or up to 140. Now, the challenge is where to get the client.
The UNFPA Deputy Representative to Ghana, Emily Sandra Nafambo, points out that the constant order associated with the condition falls heavy societal stigma. Member of Parliament from Fantiman, Dr. Prince Ebenezer Ahine, commended the medical team for their tireless work.
We have evolved from having fistula camps where we have a period where surgeries are happening to really moving towards routine surgeries. And as Doc here has already mentioned and Honorable has mentioned, one of the biggest challenges is really finding the women. It's not that the women are not there. You know, the estimates that you're hearing today, between 800 to 1,200 cases, are actually here in Ghana. This is from the recent statistics that were done last year or so. But the main reason is because there's a lot of stigma around it. Women who experience fistula, they're ostracized. Nobody wants to be around someone who doesn't smell good. It's urine, it's fecal matter. So it's very difficult to live with such people.
We are going to treat them for free. Surgery is going to be done for free. And after treatment cases, we'll try to look at that as well for free. When I came, the concern that is coming up is that we have more than 500 cases, new cases added on every year. But we can't find them to treat them and take care for free. So our responsibility, my job, is to advocate that we should be able to find them. There is no stigmatization about this. This is pure medical condition. Nobody should feel shy because you have fistula issues.
And away from that, Chief Director of the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council, Harry Kwete Owu, has called for greater recognition and celebration of excellence as a catalyst for national development. He made the remark at the Ghana West African Excellence Business Awards in Accra.
The Ghana West African Excellence Business Awards brought together business leaders, entrepreneurs and policymakers to celebrate excellence and innovation in the corporate sector. The event recognized outstanding contributions by businesses and individuals whose efforts continue to drive economic growth and development across Ghana and the West African sub-region. Speaking on behalf of government, the Chief Director of the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council, Harry Kwete Owu, emphasized the need to recognize and reward excellence while outlining government's vision for a modern and business-friendly Greater Accra.
The vision of the current government is to transform Greater Accra into a modern, resilient, inclusive, and business-friendly region that supports sustainable economic growth and improves the quality of life of all citizens.
He further encouraged businesses to take advantage of digital innovation, sustainable practices and opportunities under the African Continental Free Trade Area to strengthen their competitiveness.
As a regional minister, I assure you of our commitment to working with the private sector to create an enabling environment where business can grow, investment can flourish, and communities can prosper. Let us continue to work together to build a greater Accra that is competitive, inclusive, resilient, and prosperous.
Meanwhile, real estate developer Lord Owari Aminin of JL Properties urged the public to be cautious when purchasing land and properties, stressing the importance of avoiding flood-prone areas.
Regarding flooding in our cities in Ghana now, what we will say as a real estate development company is that we will also advise that when people are acquiring properties or lands, they check with their location and ensure that the location is at a place that is not illegal and is at a place that is not in a flood zone or not near a river that can easily flood. These are some of the things that I will advise people to take protection, use as a protection for themselves.
Organizers say the award scheme remains committed to promoting excellence, innovation and responsible business practices while encouraging collaboration between government and the private sector for sustainable development.
And that's it for the afternoon news. My name is Nana Kwesi Kwitia. Good afternoon. Ghana takes over after the break.
As the days come and go, there's always shit. Let colleagues explore all the planetary bodies. Our mission is in Uranus to treat hemorrhoids, anal fistula, anal fissure, anal incontinence, hidradenitis suppurativa, using laser ligature for pain-free and speedy recovery. On Uranus Street, Accra, is Main Tuber Hospital and Coloproctology Center. Trust Uranus with us and we will delight you. Visit Main Tuber Hospital today or call us on 0244 581 541.
It's me, Azar.
Yeah, me now they see. Hey, you don't look fresh. Oh.
Hey.
With your label today,
wait till you see what's inside me.
Azar, freshly made inside and out for greater coverage and colors that last longer and beautify your walls, spaces and places. Azar, no size. Go ahead. Buy now. Azar, #1 from Azar Group since 1921.
My name is Klaus von Backenstein, Managing Director of Ignite Media Group, owners of Metro TV, Original TV, Original FM, and Metro Digital. This is your home for all the World Cup matches, the fun reactions, behind the scenes, blasters, diaries, and all the exclusive happenings in the US, Canada, and Mexico. Don't miss out. Stay with us, and as the Minister himself said, Honorable Kofi Annan, Ignite Media Group is your credible source for everything World Cup 2026. If it's not here, it's not authentic. So stay here and stick with us.
Catch every moment loud and live on Metro TV, Original TV, and Original 101.9 FM.
Metro TV, Original 91.9 FM. We're representing live at the FIFA World Cup 2026 in Philadelphia and in Boston. Anything about the World Cup from the Black Stars training camp, from the Black Stars Hotel, interviews with the team, interviews with the coaches, we will bring it to you live on Metro TV, Original TV, and of course, Original 91.9 FM. Once again, the name is Gideon Ochenim Gattuso, Raise the Power 7, reporting live from the US of A. Stay tuned for more.
The World Cup coverage on all IMG platforms is brought to you by Estate Masters Limited.
Hi guys, again, we're here. Once again, the World Cup season is here. 20th anniversary of the World Cup. 2006, Ghana went to the World Cup. 2026. So I want you to make sure that your choice is Metro TV, Original FM, Original TV for all the latest news, updates, what is happening here in Ghana with the fans, in Mexico, in the USA, and in Canada. Make sure you stick and stay.
Catch every moment loud and live on Metro TV, Original TV, and Original 101.9 FM.
Right, it's been a rainy day, and it's been wet all over. But we're grateful to the Lord Almighty for giving us life and coming back here to serve the country. And so I just want to say that wherever that you're watching us from, just be safe. If you're driving, be safe. If you're cycling, if you're just moving around town, be safe out there in this season we find ourselves. So welcome to Good Afternoon Ghana. My name is Desmond Okrekudanso, and welcome to live from our studios here at North Region Accra and transmitting across our social media handles on Facebook, Metro TV Ghana. We're also live on YouTube, Metro TV Ghana, DSTV channel 277. We are live on there, and also we are live on 94.1 FM on the radio, so you can tune in if you're stepping out to drive at 94.1 FM. S-dial. You can listen to the show live on there. Coming up on the show this afternoon, we'll be taking a look at some of the happenings the past few weeks in the country, and of course, we're talking about the perennial floods that comes with the heavy rainfall that we've seen. Like in the past week, it's rained every single day. How are we tackling this? How are we finding a solution for this particular issue? We'll also get into some issues with the NDC in the internal issues, as there are lots of things happening in the party actually, that includes their upcoming election, but of course other things happening in the governance space. Yesterday you saw that the presidency released a statement about awards, the president banning state CEOs, state institution CEOs and appointees from being part sponsoring any form of involvement in awards by private individuals. That has been banned. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about the Black Stars and the FIFA World Cup. It's 2 days more to the World Cup. And let me remind you that 35 matches live here on Ignite Media, on Metro TV, Original TV, and Original 91.9 FM. And of course, we're doing the predict and win. You predict who goes to the final, which two countries will go to the final, and if you get that right, together with the results of the final, you could win yourself a land. Yes, so we're serious about that. So definitely watch out for that. Later, we'll also get into conversations about entrepreneurship, how we can build ourselves, capacity building in the field of entrepreneurship, in agribusiness and sustainability. All of that, we'll have that on the show today till 2 p.m. when we wrap up and get into the conversations about the FIFA World Cup, also with the sports team. So that's how it's going to be like today on the show. So we'll get into our very first conversation for this afternoon, and we have the Esquire Wonder Victor Kuto joining us this afternoon. He's a NEC member for the NDC and also a board member for the Volta River Authority, and he joins us on the show today. Wonder, welcome to the program. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was talking about the rains. It's been crazy in the past few days, coupled with some of the effects of it or the consequences of these issues that we have not focused on for a very long time. Collapse of buildings that have been weakened and all of that. What's been your assessment, the observation so far with all that's been happening in the country, especially the capital?
Yeah, first, let me ask you, you made mention of some free land when people make predictions.
Oh, definitely.
I want to ask, the land, is it where the floods are?
No. The lands are, they are not at where flood-prone areas.
Yeah, sure about that.
No, because if we give you a land and it's at a flood-prone area, we'll go and sit on the social media.
It's only in Ghana where we talk about hills. Yeah. Hills, Kaswa Hills, West Hills, and all those places get flooded.
Those kind of hills, that's not what I'm talking about.
Anyway, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to our cherished viewers. I must say that the issue of the perennial flooding It's a sad one. And what is this about June 3rd? That now, anytime June 3rd is approaching, we are all scared. Not to remind Ghanaians of what happened some 11 years back, but precious lives were lost in this country. Why do we wait 11 years on? We are having the same discussion again. Now, let's look at some of the causes of the flooding. I mean, the issue of the rural-urban drift cannot be pushed aside. Everybody now wants to live in Accra. Why? Because there are no jobs in rural Ghana, which is why I'm particularly happy with this government. We are strengthening the rural economy. Oh yes, if everybody, whatever you are able to have a strong poultry production, then there will be no need to travel all the way to Accra. Because once the people get to Accra, they must have a place to stay. That's why you see all the kiosks, the containers, and all of that on waterways. And because of the demand and supply principle, rent are also going high in Accra. Rent are going high to the extent that even the Rent Act, we are not able to comply with the provision that says that 6 months rent. People are paying 2 years. I understand some are even paying 3 years. So there's a need for us to strengthen the rural economy.
Right. And so that's what Nkukon Kitikiti is doing?
Oh yes, it's one of the initiatives. In fact, the big push, once the road network is strong, then people can stay back in, for example, Oti region, move into their yam production, knowing very well that once their production, their output is ready, it will get to Accra safely. They don't have to come and stay in Accra, but their product, their produce can come to Accra and get them revenue. So the issue of strengthening the rural economy must take center stage in this era, in this regime. If you look at what is happening, because the fact is, the lands are not multiplying. The lands are finishing. So it's important. The 24-hour economy markets, of course, it's a game changer.
The markets that is causing a lot of troubles in some areas.
Those troubles that you say more have to do with political, where it's situated and all of that. But in terms of the functionality of the market, there's no two ways about it.
But it's been almost 2 years, not one has been built.
But the government took power just last year. It's gone through the processes now. We have...
Oh, it's 1 year, 6 months.
No, that's what I'm telling you. You know what it takes to have all of this thing come into effect. Now, the 24-hour now is an authority.
Right.
You understand? All these things has to pass through Parliament, the parliamentary procedure. You know what it takes.
Right.
You get a point. So basically, the point is that we need to strengthen the.
How long is it supposed to take to put up one market?
We are not putting it up individually. When I say that, we will do it simultaneously. So within the time frame, now that we've gotten all the necessary approvals, within, let's say, 12 months, the next 12 months, you can see about 30 or 50 market at the same time. We don't have to finish one before. No, we are engaging different contractors. Of course, we're engaging different contractors. Now, another issue that we need to look at, the building permits. Building permits. You see, the assemblies have to be up and doing. Up and doing. People start building. They themselves will write, stop work.
Right.
So this permit. When they are done building, then they clean it out. Now, permit acquisition in this country, just by way of education, the composition of the committee that issues permits, you have the police, the EPA, engineers, all the stakeholders necessary are on this committee. If we follow procedures and people produce their permit, people receive permit, some of this collapse of buildings will probably be a thing of the past.
But people are actually putting up buildings without permits, and we've watched it from the very beginning when they laid foundations and put up a first story. The foundation has gone to first story, second story, and it keeps going until something happens. Then we get to find out that they did not get permits. How is that even possible?
Which is why I am not impressed. Let me be honest. I'm not impressed with this knee-jerk reaction of demolishing buildings now. All of this, we all saw this building, the Osuwan. It's been in Ghana for several years. Why now? It's better late than never, some will argue. But why now? We need to be proactive. We don't have to wait for lives to be lost before taking action.
You talked about the assemblies, right? So for the Ramses site and for other places that are being demolished.
Did you see the will? No, not to cut. Did you see the will of Sir John? Maybe he so rest in peace. This alleged will. Did you chance on it? If the chief executive of Forestry Commission has in his will about 60 or majority part of the Ramsar site has been allocated for his descendants, his children. That should tell the mindset of persons in public office. Now, if the chief executive of Forestry Commission has this mindset, which reflected in his will, what do you think will be his will, the political will, to punish offenders who build on those waterways? So that is there's an issue of political will that we need to also talk about. And then beyond the issue of permit, one thing that we must also look at, there are people who actually acquire the permit. But the question is, do they go by their permit? It's one thing acquiring a permit. It's another thing building in accordance to your permit.
Do these assemblies not have monitoring teams who are supposed to be monitoring that this is where you're supposed to be, and so you're building here alone? And again, we have not seen, and I raise this question, that we've not seen any punitive measure given to anybody. I mean, and I hold this view, I haven't seen, but anybody from an assembly that gave a permit to someone to build in a waterway, for something like that to happen, we've not held people accountable. Then where is the will, as you talk about, to be able to fight this? We're going to have people who do it and think that, oh, well, Yamashi, so I can just go on with it.
Yeah, you've raised a very vital point. The issue of monitoring is key, for example, because once somebody has a permit, how do we implement it? How do we implement or enforce the permit? So, for example, the structural columns, you know, the pillars. For example, if you have to use 16 mm, the concrete mix, what's the quantity of sand goes with a barrel of chippings or a bag of cement. All of this is calculated. All of this is calculated. So if you do not implement it, the permit, by way of monitoring, then there will be deficits. So monitoring is key. Monitoring is key. Some people go to the market, they want to buy iron rods. The permit says 16 mm for pillars. That's the columns.
Right.
But because the person do not have money, the person will prefer to buy 12 mm. At that moment, it will sound reasonable, it will sound wise. But in the long run, that weakens the building and that becomes unwise in the long run.
So lots of Ghanaians.
So the issue about our attitude as a nation. And talking about attitude, my brother, do you know that now most homes are fond of doing pavement, concrete?
Yes, I mean, we've spoken to a number of engineers who've raised concerns like that the soil is supposed to soak up the water.
Yes.
But we're doing pavements, we're doing tiles.
Yes, everybody almost go to people's homes. Everybody's doing pavement. Yes, you can do your pavement, but at least the back or some portion, leave some place, do some garden, so that that portion can soak the water. So our attitude is past. It's part of the problem. There's another issue, the issue of waste management.
Right.
I can show you videos. It's all over Facebook. During this season of rain, somebody is pouring waste in the drains, in the gutters, thinking that, oh, he can go around, take people's waste, which we call bola, at a fee, then he will go and dump it in the running water. But this waste block the drains in the long run.
Right.
So our attitude, we need to be conscious of our attitude as people.
We've talked about floods for a very long time. In fact, in many years ago, we've had flood issues reported. And every year, it keeps coming up, Accra floods. In fact, places that did not used to flood are now flooding. Tema Community 5, Barrier, a number of places. In fact, I saw videos from Sunyani, and people who've lived in Sunyani all their lives are wondering how Sunyani began flooding. Now, we've given power to people like you and the government to make sure that you take firm decisions that will help solve the situation. Do you think that you've given Ghanaians, the government has given Ghanaians a reason to believe that they'll be able to solve this situation, to tackle it? Because we are looking at solutions. Who is to be held accountable to help with the solution to this problem?
Look, I will start from the top. President Mahama has demonstrated serious commitment, strong commitment to the fight of the current menace. In fact, at the recently held town hall meeting with the diaspora in North London, he said that this government will continue with the demolition exercise. All buildings on waterways will be demolished in order to save the larger community. This is a president that is committed to addressing the issues head on, irrespective of the political ramification that the political party NDC will face. You remember the recent demolition at La?
Right.
Members of the opposition got involved, took advantage. Some of the residents were saying that, oh, this is not what we voted for. Did we vote for you to come and demolish our building and all of that? People will try to blackmail you just for doing the right thing. There are political ramifications. People even vote against you for doing the right thing because it affects them personally. But the issue is that you need to look at the larger community. And that is why I salute President Mahama for the commitment he has shown to address this issue.
Some also disagree with you because there was a flood task force that was set up last year, headed by Stan Dogbe. Now, if a task force is set up to make sure something is checked and does not happen again, and if it was set up last year, and this year we've seen the number of issues we've had with the rains and the floods, then that committee isn't working. Or that committee has failed on its mandate.
Have you seen the recommendations of the committee?
What were the recommendations?
Basically, it has to do with getting out some buildings out of the waterways and all of that. Beyond that, the reports of the committees will be implemented by the assemblies. They were the president set them up to make certain key findings and recommendations. So we cannot sit here and say the committee has failed. We have just.
I'm asking a question. They were given a mandate. And so, if we're seeing this...
No committee can stop flooding within 12 months. Let's be realistic. No committee can stop flooding within 12 months. But, of course, evidence of work done could probably improve the situation. And that's why I'm happy that there is the political will. You know, if the president is not committed to fight the problem, even if you set up 10 committees, it won't happen. So I'm happy that from the top, the commitment is there. So that when you see demolition exercise happening, you know that there will not be any call from above to stop the committee or the engineers from doing their work. So I'm happy, but we need to also look at strengthening the rural economy. We need to address the issues from its fundamental framework. Because once you address the issue of rural economy, the issue of rural economy being strengthened, then there's no need for people to move from rural areas to the urban centers. Why would you come to Accra if you are better off in excuse my language, in your village?
Well, with that, all previous governments have failed all of us then, if people keep coming here.
That is why this is reset. I've told this is a reset government. The Akoko in Kensington, if our poultry business is booming, there's no need to come to Accra. Because once they come to Accra, we need to get them places to live. They'll be forced to rent kiosks, containers, and all of that. But we are doing something new, something different.
Right. So, you're a lawyer, and an issue came to me where some of the assemblies during these demolition exercises also get people who legitimately acquired permits, and it's no fault of theirs that they have their building situated where it is, because we're told that they can do that. They have permits, and then they are demolished. We've seen a lot of these demolitions going on. Is there a way, the assembly could be sued? Like, what does the law say about that?
Yeah, it depends on the nature of demolition for
Right.
what purpose. So, for example, you can even have permit. Your place may not even be a waterway, but if, for example, your land is needed for the interest of the community,
Okay.
for example, for a road network, for school, for hospital, if your land is strategically placed, government can compulsorily acquire that land. The only issue that you have to be compensated properly, adequately. So that is the difference. So if you can prove that your land was acquired properly, there's no issue and all of that, then maybe you probably will get some compensation. But if your land is on waterway and you find your way through irregularity to acquire permit, you can't use that because you have permit. You want to still
You can do what you want. Right.
Permit is not a conduit to promote illegality.
Right. So if you just tune in, this is Good Afternoon Ghana on Metro TV. We're speaking with Wanda Kuto, and we're touching on a number of issues with the floods in the capital and other places. And my final question would be, with these 2 years that your party has been in, and looking at the flood situation, how would you rate the government, how it has handled the situation?
Well, like I said.
Oh, no, I just want a rating.
No, I'll give you the rate, but I need to give you a background.
Right.
If you are just to look at the surface, flooding, you may end up rating the government.
We expected the rain, so did we do enough? The silting, making sure that places that were blocked. In fact,
I'll give you a 7. I mean, we can do better. I'll give you a 7. 7 over 10.
7 over 10.
Yeah, we can do better. Look, I'm telling you the background work that has been done.
Right.
And I know that it could have been worse. And I also know that if it continues, next year by now, we'll not be having this discussion. I'm telling you. Yes. I'm telling you.
So 7 over 10?
Yes.
Okay.
And it depends on the grading scale. For me, 7 over 10 is not an A. Some schools.
I nearly ask where you live, so I can know if your area is flooded.
Some schools 7 over 10 is an A.
Wanda Kuto. Okay. So Wanda says that the government is doing a lot to stop the floods, and with what the government has done so far, 7 over 10. Right. Okay. Wanda, let's talk about your party. What is happening with the NDC?
Solid.
The party is solid.
Oh yes.
Are you sure there are no shakings going on in the party?
Have somebody poured acid on somebody?
Is that what it should be done first before you know that there?
Oh, I'm saying that.
No. I'm asking you also that should that be what you can term as a shake to the party?
Oh, no.
Is it not when the leadership of the party are going through their own stuff? Yeah.
Give me an instance. An instance.
We spoke to Honorable Inusa Fuseni, and he was livid about the utterances of Johnson Esiedu Nketia towards how Nigerisu.
Yes, if you watch that video in full, you may probably would think that the national chairman decided to over-explain what has happened. If you watch the video in full, not just the extract, this is somebody who has gone to the constituency of our former and indeed very hard-working minority leader at the time. And he thought that he should let them know what had happened. Politically, one may ask, is it necessary? That's another
Wasn't
issue.
necessary.
That's what I'm saying, that politically, some may ask, it wasn't necessary. But he, in his wisdom as national chair, thought that maybe he owed them an explanation out of respect to let them know what had happened. That the changes was done not out of malice and all of that. But there may be excesses in his speech.
You are a NEC member. Are you worried with some of these things? Because let's take the example of last week, the Agric Ministry, the Finance Ministry. What's happening there? Some of the appointees and some of the actions and how it is putting the party or the government so that we can establish the government away from the party. So we're seeing the health minister being.
What has the health minister done?
No, with what recently happened with CAF. We're confident. Now, I'm giving you examples about situations that have put the government in bad light from the public, right?
See, if you follow populism, it will not work. The president has given a directive that no hospital should decline the acceptance of patients on the basis of no bed. And the minister realized that a particular hospital has faulted on that score and decided to take punitive action to suspend a CEO for 2 weeks. Even the president has suspended a CEO in this country just because the CEO had a military person. So if the minister is trying to implement the president's policy by suspending a CEO, then doctors will say they are on strike.
Okay.
I mean, doctors, if they want to do politics,
is that what you want to look at it from?
But why? On what basis? The person has not been suspended as a doctor. The person has been suspended as a CEO.
They do not believe that case, the action
the CEO is a political appointment. The president can fire the CEO today. Would doctors go to strike forever?
Okay.
The president can fire the CEO.
I do not want to get into that so that we can stay on the substantive matter.
You have raised it.
Right.
Let's make this clear to our respected doctors. I mean, I come from a family where we have doctors. I'm sure persons, Ghanaians also have doctors. They should not blackmail anyone. Every profession is important. They should not blackmail
anyone. You see this as blackmail?
But if the minister has suspended a political appointee, then a professional says that he or she will not work. I mean, how?
It's the substance.
The person goes to the office of politics.
It is the substance of what happened. That is what we are looking at. But you know, I'm not going to get into that.
What happened?
So I'm asking that. I'm asking that. So with what is happening with the government in the past few weeks, as a NEC member of the party, is there anything for your base to worry about?
There's nothing to worry.
There's nothing to worry. Right.
The only caution. The only caution is persons on social media. The narrative that comes with this. Just to caution that not everybody that circulate these things are NDC persons.
Okay.
When the national chairman made those comments in the north, persons that are believed to be MPP came out and dreamed and said, "This is Coach Mourinho." You saw the pictures on social media. They said is now a coach. So it's
the MPP who are doing that.
The MPP, they are frustrated in the
there
opposition.
There are calls for reshuffle in this government for the ministers. Do you think that it's time? Do you think that there's any minister that needs to be fired or to be taken to another ministry?
Let me make this clear. That this notion that reshuffle means a minister is not performing must be corrected. You can be reshuffled, in fact, because you are performing well. If, for example, the president thinks that the Galamsey issue is so tough and feels that, oh no, this other minister can rather solve the problem, the minister can be moved from his or her position to that.
But then it means that you feel that's why someone else has to come in.
That's what I'm saying, that if we see another minister moving elsewhere,
right,
that minister maybe moving to go and solve a particular problem, and the minister responsible, let's say, for lands may also be moving elsewhere to go and solve another key problem.
Okay.
So it's a matter of
your top two best performing ministers.
So you want me to give an award?
Yes, let's give our award here. Top two performing ministers.
Let me first address this issue.
Right.
That reshuffling is not a punishment. Reshuffling does not necessarily means that a minister is not performing.
Okay.
But the fact is, reshuffling is due.
It's due for reshuffle now.
It's due.
So who do you think the president should reshuffle in this situation?
It's not the prerogative of the president.
But we are all Ghanaians. We all see what is happening. So I'm asking you, your top two best performing ministers, you haven't mentioned that, and then who you think should be reshuffled?
I only said reshuffling is due.
Right, so you are not able to mention. Right.
I don't want us to tie the hands of the president.
Right.
I don't want us to do that.
No problem. No problem with that. But you want to say reshuffle is due?
Reshuffling is due.
Fantastic. Let's talk about the World Cup. We're starting a few days. I mentioned that Metro TV was showing 35 games here. Now we understand that the tickets will be given to the diaspora to go watch the game and all of that. You're part of one of the management committees and the same. You're into sports also. So just a quick one on the preparation so far, what you've seen, and you think that we'll be able to make a mark?
Yeah, on the issue of the ticket, let me just address this issue.
Right.
That persons are not being given visas. Now, currently, most people who want to enter the US, who have applied for US visas, have been denied visas for some strange reason.
Is that the main reason?
No, I just want to give this.
Right, go ahead.
It's not as though the government doesn't want to give ticket to persons in Ghana. The issue is that if you give ticket to somebody who doesn't have a visa, that ticket will not be put into its maximum use. Now, persons have been denying visas. You remember quite recently, even the referee from Somalia.
Yes, was denied entry into the US.
Yes.
But I want to understand what you're saying, because the conversation was about the amount of money that will be involved in that. Now, the visa, now you're talking about, it means that, well, if people had visas, would have given them the tickets to go.
We are missing the issues. The president, when he was saying this in North London, luckily for me, I was present.
Right.
The president said that they cannot take everyone, but those who are registered, those who are with registered supporters union.
Okay.
So it's not like no Ghanaian.
Okay.
Of course, some supporters.
So government is carrying some supporters.
Oh
there.
yes, those who have registered with the various supporters union. You know, we have a lot of supporters.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of them. Yeah. A lot of them.
Yeah,
a lot of I know them.
Well.
Right.
Some under some previous regimes, the supporters union, you could see that they are more affiliated to a political party, but we are dealing with all of them as Ghanaians. You understand? We are dealing with all the supporters union as Ghanaians. And the president said that those who have registered, will be supported, and those who have the visas have been given tickets. And we are saying that those in the diaspora now should just send their email address. Should just send an email to the High Commission.
To the High Commission. Okay.
And they'll give you ticket.
Right.
You see how reset is good.
Okay.
So that's that the reset has even manifested in sports.
Wonder, we have to go. I know you've. You were here. You talked about your intention. Quickly on that. How's it going?
So far, so good. Oh, the Lord will see us through.
The people are buying your message.
Oh, my brother. The Lord will see us through. Come December, I'm already a national executive.
Right.
By God's grace. 4 years ago, they voted for me massively. Among the NEC members, I came first. I put over 1,600 votes.
Okay.
And we're on the grounds. You know, I don't just do social media. I'm a grassroots person.
You're a groundsman.
Yes. And we're on the ground.
Okay.
They know that it's time. You need a wonder man to do the job.
Remind the people what position that is again.
Oh, inshallah, like I indicated, by God's grace, when the party opens nomination, I'll pick from a contest for the position of Deputy National Communications Officer of the great NDC.
Wanda, thank you so much for coming today. It's a pleasure having you always. Wanda Kuto Esquire, he's a lawyer and he's a board member for the Volta River Authority and also a NEC member for the NDC. Join us to talk about some of the issues happening in the country with the government. Also, we're taking a break. When we come back, we're talking about capacity building in entrepreneurship, agribusiness, and some other sectors. Stay with us. This is Good Afternoon Ghana. We'll be back shortly.
Finding the ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy. Specifically designed for low and medium income earners, our range of customizable homes includes 2 and 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Chaco toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Chaco toothpaste. Kel Chaco toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to Amame Manfo, Kel Chacos natural ingredients, and a bomb is by a man swing, Nesansu Mama Hotaso, a bedroom.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
This Easter, Estate Masters Limited is giving you more reasons to celebrate in our extended Easter promo. Secure your dreamland at Nest Cottage, Chopoli with a massive 15% discount. Or choose Palm Hills, Gomwa Pamfukurum, also at 15% discount. And for lovers of the coast, Coastal Park, Mingo Prampram awaits you at 10% discount. Plus, enjoy free site visits and free documentation because we make land ownership simple. This Easter, don't just celebrate, invest in your future. Estate Masters Limited, your most preferred estate partner.
Fellows, this is Metro TV. Let's make sure we all watch the World Cup live on Metro TV. It will be amazing and a fun time. Cheers.
Catch every moment loud and live on Metro TV, Original TV, and Original 101.9 FM.
My name is Samson Dean, the president of the African Paralympic Committee. For exclusive sports, for all you need to know at the World Cup, just tune into Metro Sports.
Catch every moment loud and live on Metro TV, Original TV, and Original 101.9 FM.
Come back from the break. This is Good Afternoon Ghana on Metro TV. I am Desmond Okrekudanso, and we're live on Facebook, Metro TV Ghana, also on 94.1 FM on the radio. Do join us on there. We're getting to our next conversation about building capacity or capacity development in Ghana, focusing on entrepreneurship and agribusiness. And I have two guests with me. Dr. Bombasin Kwekuto is a lecturer at the Department of Agriculture, University of Education, Winneba, and also Dr. Joseph Kwejodankwa is Assistant Professor of Innovation, Entrepreneurship, Human Capital Development and Technology at the University of Bradford. Welcome to the program. I think this is a very important conversation that we need to talk about capacity building. And let me begin with you, Dr. Tour, right? In the field of agriculture and agribusiness, how have we fared in terms of building our capacity? In fact, we're talking about a lot of young people, even that I know, are buying lands, are getting into rearing, are doing a lot of things. But is it just about putting the money in there, or how do we also get them to understand really the sector that they found themselves in and building their capacity? Doc, can you press the knob? Right, you can go now.
That is a very critical issue that, as a nation, we are, will I say, we've made some steps that we can say are good, but not very good enough.
Okay.
Many people go into it out of passion. They will buy the land, all right, get the necessary input to start the business, but they probably don't view it as a business. They view it as something that gives them satisfaction. So we believe that if we can step up our efforts as tertiary institutions to build the capacity of these young men and women that have the passion, and then you add the skill, the technology, and other maybe enabling environmental factors,
right,
then we should be able to drive home job creation, ensuring food security, among other things. For now, successes on that path has been modest, not
so much.
Yeah.
But there are concerns also that what is being taught in the schools, it's still from the books. Is that what it is?
So, not exactly so. You need theory and practice.
Right.
So, the book is important as much as the practicals. So, you need to understand how things work before you go to try your hands on them, so you can have a complete set of skill set. Traditionally, agribusiness hasn't been a course that was taken in Ghana. It used to be the general traditional agriculture. It is now that the issue of we viewing agriculture beyond feeding our families to viewing it as an avenue to create jobs, an avenue that can employ many people, that the concept of agribusiness and entrepreneurship have been introduced by some institutions in our country. Yeah.
Right. Dr. Dankwa, how do we harness the spirit of innovation and entrepreneurship in ourselves as young people? Because, especially in Ghana, we've always said that, the Ghanaian child is timid, is done not to think outside the box and to be innovative about situations or about issues. You've been out there, you've been in the field, and you teach. Is that what it is, or there's a change? Doc, please, your microphone also. Right, you have the platform now.
Thank you very much. Now, let me start from this premise. You know, Ghana has a youthful population,
right?
And then youth unemployment is a very, very, very big challenge as a country. So we are, as a university, we've seen the need to collaborate with our colleagues from Winneba and UCC to develop certificate courses that will bring the entrepreneurial skills of these youth. As you have indicated, that our youth do not see agri as an attractive area to venture. So now we are collaborating with these universities to develop a curriculum that will build the entrepreneurial skills of these young people. I did agri from my secondary school, university.
Okay.
At the postgraduate level that I diverted into that. But agri was something that I like, but there was nothing that I could see. That's why I just pushed away. So moving on, as a country, we need to develop the entrepreneurial skills of these young people so that they will see entrepreneurship as an opportunity driven. That is, now you can see the rain coming in. It shouldn't be a necessity, but it should be opportunity for these young ones to see what is the problem that we are facing as a country.
Right.
And then when these problems are being envisaged, as a young person, you can see, okay, this is the problem. How do I go in there to bring these solutions? And then now I can get the opportunity to employ myself.
Right.
Because for the past years, young people have envisaged that the government is going to employ them. Okay, that is a narrative. But now we need to change that narrative. That now government has a limit. Government cannot employ over 10 million or 20 million Ghanaians. But you as a young person, how do you bring your natural talent to support the government? Because when you are building your own business, the government can get revenue from it. So that is what we are collaborating with the University of Education and University of Cape Coast to design a curriculum that will imbibe the spirit of entrepreneurship and also the sustainability. Let me just expand the discussion here. The curriculum that we are going to develop, we are going to make sure that it is embedded with sustainability. Sustainability cuts across every facet sector of our life, either the economy, either the environment, and any part of our life. So that is what we seek to do as a university. And also we'll be doing a workshop next Wednesday that the three university, and then brainstorm. We have something we called co-creation. Three universities will sit down, brainstorm, and see which way as a country that we can work together to mitigate the challenge of youth unemployment in this country.
Right, Doc, for this to work also, there needs to be a conducive environment of support for young people who come up with ideas, but there seems not to be that support from governments, from businesses, from the banks, to give and to support them. And so people come up with ideas, and then due to no support, they just abandon them.
Yes, that is true, but now we need to change the narrative.
Okay.
Now government or the system is not willing. We as a youth, or the youth, should not come out so that government will not have any option but to adopt some of these policies that will endure. But to wait for government to say bring out a policy that will create that enabling environment for you to take that opportunity, government is always looking for the votes. So they form the government based on the vote. So that is where they'll be looking at. So when we sit aloof for the government to decide for us to go in there, no. So that is why there's a saying, catch them young and they shall be yours forever. We are developing these curriculum as an institution to incorporate into our education system, so that the young people will have that capability and capacity to think outside the box, so that when he is at the university level, he's not thinking of going to work for the Ministry of Education or Ministry of Health or Ministry of Agriculture. But thinking of how I can complement the effort of the government, and then also help Ghana to develop.
Right. Dr. Toh, how important is this collaboration with the University of Bradford to yourself, the department, the school itself, and to your students?
It is a very important collaboration. I don't want to use the word critical, given that in the 21st century, knowledge is not the sole preserve of an individual. So by collaborating with the University of Bradford, we are building the international reputation of the University of Education, Winneba. We have opportunity to learn from them, just as they are also learning from us. We also have a grant funding from the British Council, which they are the lead, and we are the sub. So it is a critical collaboration for us, and we are sure that this first grant that we have won, we will be able to build on it with them to win other grants that can fill in critical funding needs of our university. As he said, he's told you about the challenge of youth unemployment in Ghana. 25% or so from Ghana Statistical Service shows that they are unemployed. We have done some work on the perception of youth toward engaging in agricultural value chain activities, especially poultry. We know that Ghana import poultry meat worth 400 million plus every year. So we did some work around it to find out why our graduates from our universities who do agric don't want to go into it. What is the perception about it? What are the things that drive them away or drive them in? So we have all these things. With the capacity building, we'll be able to model a course in entrepreneurship and agribusiness that we can use these things we have found out to help attract more youth into this field.
Right. So, Dr. Dankwa, so what's the way forward? What's the so you say there's a workshop next week, and any other thing that we can wrap it up?
Okay, let me say this. As a country, we cannot achieve our sustainable development goal based on our natural resources. We need to develop the human capital.
Right.
And that is what we seek to do with University of Education, Winneba, and Cape Coast. So on Thursday, we will be working together as a team from Thursday to Saturday. Work together, develop a certificate. And that certificate course is not only for Winneba or for Ghanaians. We are also learning that when I go back, we are also going to implement it and how it can suit our system. Because youth unemployment is not only endemic in Ghana, it's a global phenomenon. So that is what we are saying. And then I'll say a big thank you to British Council for giving us this opportunity, the grant for us to collaborate with that. I've learned a lot from my senior colleague, Bombasin, and other ones from University of Cape Coast, and that is very, very good. We are happy to work with them.
Right. Doc, final thing for your students quickly that we can go.
Well, we are trying to demystify agriculture as a tax for school dropouts, or something that is for old people, or a profession that is just a way of life for rural people. I think that is what people who do agric or people who have agriculture at heart should know, that it is a business and something that can put you in a global stage, not in the village square.
Yeah. Thank you very much for this all important conversation for all of us as Ghana, so that we can really make the best out of our space in terms of agribusiness and entrepreneurship. So I heard from Dr. Bombasin Kwekuto, his lecturer, Department of Agriculture, University of Education, Wedaba, and also Dr. Joseph Kwejo Dankwa, Assistant Professor of Innovation, Entrepreneurship, Human Capital Development and Technology from the University of Bradford. And a big shout also to my alma mater, University of Cape Coast. We're taking a break. When we come back, Ali Kem will be joining me. So we talk about the World Cup, the arrivals at the World Cup. 2 days more to the Mundial in USA, Canada, and Mexico. What's to be expected? We'll be back to talk about that. Stay with us.
Sweat on the ground, gave it all, never back down. Nothing could stop us, fire inside. Now we lift the trophy high with pride. Dance everybody, hear the crowd roar. You feel that magic, we want it more. Ole, ola, ole, ola, ole, ola. We are the champions.
Right, it's the World Cup season, and welcome to Good Afternoon once again. And we're going to talk about the World Cup, the arrivals at the World Cup, and many other issues from there. Elikem has joined me here, and just to let you know some of the stories we'll be talking about, the arrivals of some of the nations, and also Africa's best referee is not going to be at this World Cup. It's another issue that we'll tackle, and Mexico president has also been speaking and all that. Elikem is here. Elikem, good afternoon, welcome to the program. What's happening with the World Cup today?
Well, speaking of arrivals, as you mentioned, it's just 2 days to the kickoff of the FIFA 2026 World Cup. Now, Curacao have arrived in Florida on Monday as they prepare for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Now, the tiny Caribbean island of just over 150,000 people and covering only 443 square kilometers will become the smallest country ever to compete at a FIFA World Cup when the 2026 tournament kicks off on June 11th. Now, Curacao are in Group E, where they will face Germany in their opening match on 14th June before taking on Ecuador on 21st June. Now, Curaçao's final group stage match will be against the Elephants of Africa that's Ivory Coast on June 25. Also, Belgium arrived in Seattle on Monday as they finalized preparations ahead of their World Cup opener against Egypt on June 15th. Now, Belgium are in Group G, where they will face Iran on June 21 and New Zealand on 27th June. The Belgians were third at the 2018 World Cup in Russia, and the team has not lost any of its 13 previous matches. Arrived in Monterrey to begin their 2026 FIFA Men's World Cup preparations on Monday. The Carthage Eagles will begin their 7th World Cup appearance and 3rd consecutive one against Sweden on June 15th at Monterrey Stadium. They will then face Japan at the same venue on June 21 in their 2nd Group F match. Their final group stage match will be against the Netherlands on June 26 in Kansas City, US of A. Other stories: Cape Verde national football team, popularly known as the Blue Sharks, also arrived in Tampa, Florida on Monday. They are using the Tampa Bay Rowdies training facility at the Water Sportsplex as their official base camp for the FIFA 2026 World Cup. Now, the squad will be based in the city throughout their inaugural World Cup tournament, where they will face Spain, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay in Group H. Cabo Verde will face Spain on June 15 in Atlanta. They land at Atlantic City Airport Monday evening as they also prepare for their first FIFA World Cup appearance in more than 50 years. Now, Haiti are in Group C and will face Scotland in their opening game on June 14th before taking on Brazil on June 20th. Now, the final Group C match will be against Morocco on June 25th. Argentina will face Iceland in their final World Cup warm-up game on later today. The 2022 World Cup winners, Argentina, retained their core of that victorious squad, including Mercurial captain Lionel Messi, who will turn 39 during the tournament. He will be featuring in his 6th World Cup a record in the men's game, which is matched by Cristiano Ronaldo and co-host City Mexico's goalkeeper Ochoa. Julian Alvarez, Lautaro Martinez, and Enzo Fernandez are among the players expected to shine as Argentina show they have more than one option in attack. Lionel Scaloni, head coach of the Argentine national team, remains in charge and will look to become only the 2nd manager to win the World Cup twice. Now, Iraq players were welcomed by a group of Iraqi fans ahead of their friendly match against Venezuela on Wednesday. It will be their final friendly match before the start of the World Cup for Iraq. Now, they will face Norway, France, and Senegal in Group I. coming to Africa. South Africa senior men's national team is looking forward to soaking in the inimitable experience that awaits the team when they face 2026 FIFA World Cup co-host Mexico in the opening match of the global tournament at a packed Estadio Azteca on 11th June 2026.
With much movement, with solidarity, you see that those guys, they really want to become world champion. You see that in the way they are playing, the commitment in the game. So they are a very good team, and we will be, or we have to be, on our best level if we wanted to do a good result. I saw the game against Serbia. It was fantastic how they played. Certainly the first half hour. Movement, aggressivity, solidarity, all the team attack, all the team is defending. So it's a very complete team, and it will be very difficult for us on Thursday. But a football game is a football game. And we don't have to think now that we don't have any chance against Mexico. This is not true either. So, but we have to prepare ourselves very good, and we have to play on our best level. That is for sure. You know, it will be for us also a special and fantastic experience, because my players never played in that situation. So it will be for us very important that we keep ourselves at the game plan, and that we don't listen to what is happening on the stands. We all know that there will be how much Mexicans in the stadium, and maybe a few South Africans. So we don't have to count on the support of South Africans in the stadium. But we know that we have the support of all the nation, and we felt that in the past days. In the last week, when we start the preparation in South Africa, all South Africa is supporting her, and that is something we have to remind when on Thursday at 1 o'clock the game starts, that we are playing for our nation, that we are playing for all those people who believes in us for the moment.
And that was the head coach of the South African national team. Now, we'll be looking at some facts around the World Cup or some things you should know heading to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Now, this year's Mundial would see 8 brothers feature in this World Cup, with the first being Guela Doué, who is 23 years and 5 days old in the tournament, and he'll be representing the Ivorian national team, whilst his younger brother, Desire Doué, representing their colonial masters, France. Also, we see that Ghanaian brothers, Inaki Williams, who is 23 years, representing the national team, and Nico Williams, who will be representing Spain in this year's World Cup. Also, Derek Lucasen, who came in to replace Jiku, Ghana's centre-back Jiku, would also be representing Ghana in this year's World Cup. And his younger brother, Brian Bobby, would be representing the Dutch national team. Also for John Suter, who is also 29 years, who is representing the Scottish national team. And then Harry Suter, also representing Australia. Now Lucas Henderson and his brother Theo Henderson, who are representing France in the 2026 World Cup. And then Quentin Timber, who is representing Netherlands, alongside his brother, who unfortunately has been injured, would have actually been representing the team for the World Cup. So,
the Timber brothers, unfortunately, Julian Timber is injured.
Yeah.
So he's been taken out of the squad, so he will not be playing at the World Cup. He's been replaced by Geshuda, who plays for Sunderland. So it was going to be nice to have the brothers play for Netherlands at this tournament, but Jurgen Timber is now injured and he's taken out of the World Cup and replaced by Gertruda. So we're not going to see them. This is very interesting because over the period we've seen a number of brothers play at the World Cup.
In 2014,
yes, Frank de Boer, the De Boer brothers. We had, in fact, we've had our own, the Ayew brothers play. We had the Boatings play. Kevin Prince Boateng playing for Ghana, and then Jerome Boateng playing for Germany. And some the Mexican brothers. I've forgotten their names. Giovanni Dos Santos and his other brother Dos Santos. They also played at the World Cup. So it's interesting to see, your blood. But it's more interesting when you're playing for the opposite nation, right? So you meet like the Xhaka brothers also. The method was very interesting. Sometimes you wonder what is happening in the mind of your brother playing for another nation.
If you should have met your brother playing for Spain, and you should have met your brother, do you think you would foul your brother?
No, at that point it's about the nation. You've decided to represent a country, so you're giving your all for the country. So even if you need to tackle your brother and win a foul for your team to prevent him from scoring, you need to do that.
That would take him on injury for 6 months.
You need to do. The intention is not to injure him. The intention is to make sure that you prevent him from scoring, right? So that's the most important thing. So it's interesting to see how this will play out at the World Cup, right?
I'll also be seeing Laros Duarte and his younger brother, Dero Duarte, represents Cabo Verde also in the World Cup. So these are the brothers. And also Leandro Bacuna and Junino Bacuna would also representing their countries at the World Cup. So these are two brothers who are actually representing the same country. Yeah.
For me, again, this will be about the parents. Parents seeing your sons play, for the same nation, or other ways that you are divided who you're supposed to support. But as a parent, you've got to be, I guess, neutral, right? So you just make sure that everybody's happy at the end of the day. So it's interesting. We'll see that happening at the World Cup. Yeah.
Well, there has also been a collection.
Okay.
Now, this year's World Cup, we're going to see 22 players who are actually World Cup champions make an appearance again at the World Cup. However, Manuel Neuer for Germany, who has actually come back to the national team after saying he was retiring from international football some years back, and would once again be representing or being the goalpost for Germany. Also, we see France's 2018 squad in here, the likes of Ousmane Dembele, Lucas Hernandez, N'Golo Kante, and Kylian Mbappe also making their appearance in the World Cup. Then we see a core of Argentina, or the defending champions, in there, the likes of Thiago Almada, Julian Alvarez, Rodrigo De Paul, Enzo Fernandez, Alexis McAllister, Emilio Martinez, Lautaro Martinez, Lisandro Martinez, Lionel Messi, Nahuel Molina, Gonzalo Montiel, Nicolas Otamendi, Esquel Palacios, Leandros Paredes, Christian Romero. Then we also see the likes of Geronimo Rulli and Nicolas Tagliafico.
So the core of the Argentine team is there, so that's what makes it very frightening to play them, because they've got the experience. They've played this before. And a few days ago, I was watching the France-Croatia final in 2018, and you'd see the number of players who are actually not in now, like Griezmann, Steven Nzonzi, all of them. But the new crop of French players are also super fantastic. We're waiting to see what
France
they do.
France too also has a core of their team
they have
from the 2022 World Cup. So at least they were also in the finals. Have also had a taste of what it feels to be there. So maybe they are also hoping to take their second World Cup after the one, or their third World Cup after the one they took in 2018. So this is a core. But Black Stars have already started wearing a crown at the World Cup. Now, New York Times decided to rate or rank the best jerseys so far, or heading into the World Cup. Now, Black Stars topped #1 in that chart, ahead of Brazil, England, and Morocco.
So among all the 48 teams, Ghana's jerseys have been voted as the best by the New York Times.
Now, what makes it the best is that we were able to represent our culture, our identity more. You see, the white jersey has the Anansi spider in there, with also our gold. You can see a lot of African embodiment within our jersey. But the West has been Croatia's jersey.
Croatia's jersey.
They were ranked last in
I also thought I saw England's red jersey, but I thought that was very bad. I mean, it's one of the worst jerseys I've seen from England. But anyway, I like this. A lot of people are also happy with the fact that we've gone back to the yellow. So at the World Cup, we are not going to wear white.
Yeah.
For at least
because
the
of
group games. Yes, we're going to wear the all yellow in the first game. The second, we're going to wear the yellow and the black, and same as the third game, yellow and black. So a lot of people are happy about that. Some say that we don't even know where the white TV came from, but yeah, we're excited about the yellow, and this is a big boost to us, and that is why we can sell our jerseys and make money from that. You know, very, very important. That is why I was disappointed.
I think that when Puma actually released it,
yes,
it was sold out.
Yeah, it was.
It was one of the jerseys that shockingly was sold out. And people are actually calling that for us to be able to top the chart in terms of jerseys, we should be able to replicate that when it comes to the game of football. So we are hopeful. I am just saying, I've been of the conviction that Ghana will take a 9 point in.
I think we would. We would do our
England's
best.
Friendly recently.
No, I mean England's team is full of superstars. So unless they come to the party, if not, we can have our chance with them. I know you'll be touching on the Somalia referee. I really want to talk on that. So
yeah. But just before we leave, the Black Stars, Hearts of Oak, Benjamin Asare becomes the 6th Ghana Premier League player at the World Cup.
Okay.
Now he follows the likes of George Owu of Ashanti Gold.
George Owu, yeah.
Yes, we see Stephen Aholu of Heart of Lions in there. We see Daniel Ejay of Liberty Professionals. And we came to see Stephen Adams of Adriana Stars. And then we saw Danlad Ibrahim of Asante Kotoko SC. And these have been home-based goalkeepers that have been selected to be part of the Black Star squad most of the time into the World Cup. So he makes the set appearance. But I know he's going to make some good money, $100,000 for appearance. Don't you think it's good for the league?
It's for everybody. In fact, FIFA has a cut for teams that have their players playing at the World Cup. So
$11,000.
Yeah, some good money that will be coming to Hearts of Oak. But I remember very well, Stephen O played in 2006, was part of the team. Stephen Aholu and Daniel Ejay were in South Africa. Yeah, South Africa. I remember Stephen Aholu. He had a very good season with Mando Hearts of Lions. And then Danlad Ibrahim was with the team in Qatar. Yeah, so it's good. At least people call for local inclusion. So,
but it's surprising to see about 6 just goalkeepers coming from. So is it that our outfield players in the Premier League are not doing?
I've always said that we need to better our league to be able to bring that conversation back. Even for the tournament, we're not even able to qualify. So yeah, so this is it.
Right. So speaking of the Somalian referee Omar Abdul Kari Atan, who will not officiate at the 2026 World Cup. Now, the highly rated Somali referee was denied entry into the United States despite holding a valid visa. Now, FIFA confirmed that they cannot override the host country's decision, and a better end to what should have been his biggest moment and a very tough one for African refereeing.
This, for me, is the biggest betrayal I have seen FIFA do to this gentleman. And I agree with Honorable Ras Mubarak, former Member of Parliament for Kumbungu. He's written a piece on Facebook. I'll read a portion of that. But this is not just any tournament. This is the World Cup. And this is Africa's best referee as of this year. And so if you are hosting the World Cup, and Africa's best referee, despite holding a diplomatic passport, despite holding a valid visa, cannot get into your host country, and you write a piece on social media and tell us that FIFA can confirm that Abdul Kader cannot be at the World Cup, will not be able to train and officiate at the World Cup after he was denied entry into the US. FIFA is not involved in host country immigration processes, including visa adjudications, and has been informed by authorities that Mr. Atan's status will not be changed at present. This is betrayal. FIFA, in fact, has not done anything. They went there, they were told, that is it. And they said, okay, we cannot do anything about it. This is a referee, the best referee in Africa. You have 10 teams, 10 countries from Africa at the World Cup. And you are telling me that you could not use any diplomatic means to have conversations with the USA. And that brings a conversation about US and its geopolitical issues, right? So Iran, in fact, it is Iran who are in Mexico. and would have to be moving to
day in, day out to the USA
to
play their games.
To play their game. And right after the game, they've been told to go back to Mexico. Look at the stress that they would go through. So for me, and as Ras Mubarak writes, let me read a bit of it. It says, a disgraceful betrayal of merit, fair play, and continental solidarity. Just imagine if this was an European or any other person who is of high level as this referee from another continent. Would this be the issue? Would this be the issue?
If we should track back, you remember 20 before Russia was banned from footballing activities because of geopolitical issues, you realize that because of the US of A, the whole world says that, okay, Russia will not be able to participate in activities.
Right.
The question has come. We also saw the FIFA president Infantino speak and say that geopolitical issues would stay out of football. So for Donald Trump's administration to say that, yes, there's a ban on Somalia for not entering or coming into the US because of terrorism and some issues, security issues, I don't think it should have been the case of this gentleman. However, the Somalian Ministry of Youth and Sports says that because of issues regarding his visa, they actually had to grant him that diplomatic passport.
Kemi, we need to wrap it up. I know that at 6 p.m. Sports Director Phil John Kote will be here. We'll continue with that. Elikem, thank you very much for bringing us the updates there. This has been Good Afternoon Ghana. Many thanks for watching. My name is Desmond Okrekudan. So, bye.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
In a time where noise is loud but clarity is rare, one program is changing the conversation. Welcome to the Intelligence Desk. This is not a talk show. This is a working studio. Each week, we break down the biggest national and global issues from AI and digital transformation to trade, jobs, governance, and national competitiveness, and turn complexity into practical, usable knowledge. Sharp questions, structured thinking, real solutions built live on air. With resident resource person Dr. David King Boyson, the show moves beyond commentary, designing frameworks, mapping strategies, and holding decision makers accountable. From the big issue briefing to the strategy lab to the innovation and opportunity board, every episode delivers tools you can use. If you care about Ghana's future, if you value clarity over chaos, if you believe leadership requires intelligence, then this is your desk. The Intelligence Desk, hosted by RSM Kofi Dole Lawson on Metro TV, where Ghana thinks forward.
What was all this drama of coming to my class late today?
I told you I'm pregnant. What are you doing about it?
I said, Abado, why make up so?
Hey, what police will be teaching you won't? Shall we Phoebe? Shall not say I pass our bravo?
But why are you saying that?
That girl is a charlatan. It's a wolf in a sheep's clothing. A prostitute in disguise.
Abaya come so. Na bla ubo college mu ha eye.
My friend said if she come and come, since I'm a don't come and spoil my spiritual mood for me.
But you the other time the running way, Charlie, I take come no you chop.